the strategy execution puzzle, and how to solve it. While there is a lot of information and advice out there on how to make sure the strategy is successful, the truth remains that in majority of cases, organizations fail to achieve all their strategic objectives. Thinking of a winning inspirational strategy is tough, but executing is a mind-boggling puzzle that seems to be even tougher to crack. It is because most people take it for granted they already have what it takes and start focusing on random ideas such as organization restructuring, cultural transformation, capabilities enhancement, new shiny colorful operating models, shiny consultants in black suits too. The list is endless. Years of experience and research in this area has shown that a structured approach might be missing here. We jump into crafting ambitious strategies without having a reality check. No, we aren't talking about your pestle or SWOT analysis, but a whole new methodology of approaching strategy execution. We want execution and its components to be a challenging and an exciting puzzle that can not only show us the true picture, but perhaps direct our focus into the areas that need fixing if we were to win the strategy game. So let's begin. Think of a humble Rubik cube. For little kids, it's actually easier as they rely on their gut feel, are not spoiled due to an information overload, and usually do not come under pressure like us. However, with practice, experience, and a bit of patience, we can all do it, whatever our age. Before we go on, please note that while there are a number of types of Rubik cubes available in the market, we want to keep it simple by using the most basic one. However, it does have a lot of elements to it and a lot of knowledge built in. You will find out next. As you can see, this Rubik cube, well, like all cubes, have 6 sides. Now think of factors that could impact the success of strategy execution. Who does it all? People, isn't it? Then we have the leadership. Well, leaders are also people, but this is just for the sake of clarity. How about something more interesting like capabilities? That can go with people. How about purpose of the organization? Rather the mission, vision, design of the strategy itself? Yes, that can be combined into the design of the cube. Then we have the alignment side that basically means a connection between the strategy and what is being done. These 4 sides of strategy themselves are good enough to be combined into an independent framework too, called LEAD. But we're looking for more. How about the internal systems, such as the finance, HR, availability of tools, and other robust yet flexible processes of governance, innovation, the strategy management office itself? And how about the ever-changing external environment? Oh yes, our customers, if we are a commercial organization, or the citizens of the country in case of being a public sector organization, play a huge role. So does market conditions, competition, the political and cultural aspects. Bingo, that was quick. What we just did was create a puzzle of strategy execution. Let's now slow down and try to give it a nice composition. So friends, the 6 sides of this cube are: 1. The top side is the leadership. Leadership remains a core issue when it comes to design as well as implementation. It is stated that leaders should develop a strategic executive voice and develop qualities and behaviors such as being a visionary, cultivating relationships, bringing solutions, and staying calm under pressure. Well, you know all of that already, so let's get to the point. The leadership side of the puzzle has the following 4 components: leadership's commitment and integrity, leadership's experience, leadership's EQ. emotional quotient, and empathy, leadership's capabilities and skills. So what do we do with these? Will we get to that after we are done dissecting the other sides of the cube? For now, just remember you want to make sure your leadership has to perform in all these areas. 2. Now we have the people, or the employees who actually execute the strategy. These days, it is trendy to talk about sensitive issues like resistance to change, thought process, insecurities, or attitudes, but they actually create a lot of execution challenges. So here are the people aspects, which are almost the same as leadership, such as general well-being and happiness of people, capabilities and skills, empowerment and motivation, decision rights to execute the strategy. 3. Next is the alignment aspect. Alignment can be of various types. There should be a good level of alignment between systems, between departments and employees, between structure and resources. But for this puzzle, we will stick to the following: alignment between organizational strategies and departmental, alignment between vision, mission, and strategic objectives and initiatives, projects. Can't stress enough how significant this is actually. Alignment between strategy and overall culture that tolerates mistakes and encourages risks and innovation. And finally, alignment between ambition and practical realities. Ever thought of that? 4. Now let's talk about the design of the strategy itself. Strategy should be regarded the servant rather than master. The purpose of existence of the organization must be built into the strategy design itself. The design can be in the form of a house or a balanced scorecard or even Excel sheets. Ideally, the design contains elements like the vision, mission, strategic goals and objectives, and even initiatives or programs to achieve those. Most organizations are familiar with the house model with its strategic pillars and enablers that represent the themes. Balanced Scorecard is a tool that can achieve a good design along with the alignment if supported by an efficient performance reporting mechanism. Still, a good design must be flexible to changing times yet, robust to face challenges, clear and simple to understand, participatory in nature, which means employees should be made a part of it from the very beginning to reduce information silos. 5. Now let's talk about internal systems. Now this would cover a range of things, but we will try to narrow it down to just 4. Remember, we don't want to make it complicated. A solid performance management and IT systems or tools. Think reporting of projects and their KPIs. Dedicated team to handle the strategy execution through an OSM or a PMO. Think capable professionals. Financial resources to actually execute the inspirational strategy, and finally, a well-defined organization structure with clear rights and responsibilities. Before going to the 6th side, we want to emphasize again how important it is to have a good system of performance management. Your initiatives must be measurable through practical and effective KPIs, which can be understood easily. However, sometimes they can be technical, so education and communication is the key. It is our strong recommendation to pay maximum attention to your strategy management office, both in terms of its systems and people. Otherwise, you will not even know if your strategy is really working. Finally, we are coming to the last phase that could impact the strategy execution. You see, friends, execution is still not just about performance measurement and reporting, but making the performance itself adaptive and open to evolving situations, even outside of the organization. The bigger the organization, the trickier it gets. So what constitutes the external environment? Your external stakeholders, such as the government, customers and citizens, the competitors you have, the new trends in business such as AI, sustainability, Internet of Things, digital transformation, and all other cultural, legal and political aspects. All right, we cannot really change the external environment unless our organization is extremely big and powerful, but we can always adapt to it and still do our bit to make little changes. So by now you would have a good idea of what constitutes the strategy execution puzzle. But before we show you how you can solve it, a word of caution. These 6 sides are not carved in stone. If needed, you have all the right to customize it to suit the needs of the organization. Secondly, a lot of factors are fluid and flow into each other. The strategy puzzle isn't made of plastic. It should be elastic and blend into each other while maintaining firmness of all the sides. In other words, one puzzle doesn't fit all hands. Okay, so let us now move on to trying to solve this puzzle. For that you need a pen and paper. Laptop would be better. Create a list of all the aforementioned factors in this way. As you can see on the left-hand side, we have the 6 sides of the Rubik cube, which are leadership, people, alignment, design, internal systems, and finally, external environment. Next to those 6 sides are the various aspects such as commitment and integrity of the leadership, general well-being and happiness of the employees, alignment between organizational strategies and departmental, between ambition and practical realities, the flexibility, robustness of the design, the competitors, cultural, political or legal aspects. It is a long list, but it can be longer. Remember the rule, this puzzle should work for you and you shouldn't be working for the puzzle. Next is, based on your experience and understanding in the context of your organization, allocate marks or numbers to each aspect between 1 and 5. 1 being poor and 5 being excellent. Okay, let us elaborate it. 1 for poor, 2 for fair, 3 for neutral, 4 for very good, and 5 for excellent. Once you've given the marks, you can take out the average of each side. In this example, leadership average is 4.5. Similarly, the average of internal systems would be 4.75, and the grand average, or your strategy execution score in percentage, would be 81.7%. Not only will this score give you the likelihood of the success of your strategy execution, but also the areas that are not performing and you need to focus on. In all situations, the strategy execution score must be between 80 to 100%, but obviously closer to 100 is better, though not so easy to achieve at all. So to make it more clear, more than 80% strategy execution is smooth and on the right path. Between 60 to 80%, you're on a bumpy road. Less than 60%, take a break and explore new or alternative routes. You might even want to turn it into a full-fledged KPI. Think about it. Now, how will you implement this puzzle? Or who should solve it? As mentioned earlier, we want the strategy itself to be participatory in nature, so you can actually run a survey involving maximum number of at least 10% of your employees. Or you can do it in a workshop, or even focus group interviews. This is a great tool that encourages frank discussion on the topic. or at least that is the idea. Do this exercise at least twice a year. What about the things you can't really quantify, such as commitment of employees? Yes, commitment is a personal thing, but if you think hard, from the energy or the vibes of the place itself, you will get some feel of the commitment that exists in the workforce towards their organisation. Try to give it a number, and once you have all numbers separately and a grand total, you will know what to do. The solution lies in those problem areas which score less than 4 or 80%. Build your improvement plans and execute them as you execute your strategy. Just remember, you have the answers if you learn to trust yourself. So friends, in all humility, we hope it was a productive, rather practical learning experience for you. It sure has been for us. Happy executing to all, and thank you for watching.